Welcome to Straight Out of Savannah, Talking with Tammi, a podcast that showcases people you may not know who are choosing to use their gifts to inspire and move the planet.
Energy.
Thank you so much for joining us on Straight Out of Savannah. My guest, Jenney Clark, is here with me, and she is going to share a little bit about who she is, what she does, and how she can help you. Jenney, take it away.
Okay, so I come from the land of yoga, Gandhi, and the Vedas. My name is Jenney Clark. Namaste to all of you listeners. And it's beautiful to be on here with Tammi Morrison. I am a spiritual author, and I teach through my writings. I'm still kind of a newbie and learning the ropes. And I wish to reach out to as many people as possible across the world and spread oneness love through my work and my podcasts.
That is so awesome. That is awesome. So how did you get into astrology and esoteric?
Yeah, okay. Actually, I started off reading books very early, and then I used to read books like Linda Goodman's Sun Signs and a lot of Edgar Cayce. And they kind of influenced me in my childhood and my teen years. And then that interest plus my keen intuitive gifts drew me to this particular esoteric subject. And then as I started working with tarot, my gifts just grew. And I kind of experimented with my friends initially. And then I'm being honest here. So I noticed that whenever I would work with tarot, things just came naturally to me, and I could just read the stories, and the cards would just tell me everything. And then that's how it all began for me.
Oh, that is what's up. That's up. So, what was the reason why you started writing? Oh, wait. Let's go into your childhood first. Tell us a little bit about your childhood and wanting to become a nun.
Well, I believe I'm kind of an old reincarnated soul, and I feel that I am here to undo past karma and fulfill a mission. Um, I was born into a family and where my dad passed away before I was born, and so I never got to meet him or see him. And then I was raised by my relatives and by Roman Catholic nuns, and I moved between homes and boarding schools. So it was catechism every day, almost like 6 days a week. I would just get maybe Saturdays off, so at least 1 hour of catechism every day, and then just reading the Bible and all of that, and those prayers, meditation, and the rosary were, I mean, synonymous to me, and I just felt that it was a calling, and then somehow along the way things changed, of course, but that's how it was for me. And
You're right. It's like as we begin to walk through this life and this journey.
Yeah. I'm a paradox, actually. I was a learner, not because I was lonely, but because I was not a regular kid. And yet I had friends, and I live in a conservative country. So I was kind of like the odd one, the odd duck. It was, it was just the way I was. I think I was kind of even as a kid. So I knew things before they could happen. And sometimes most certainly, some of the things that I said came true. And so my friends and my sister would tell me, no, don't say that, because the moment you say that, it happens. So
So
I
you've been
kind of suppressed.
so you've been a manifestor from a child.
Yeah, yes. I mean, I always had the gift.
Wow. So what did you eventually end up going into as far as for work?
Well, this is a little deep. Are you ready to listen? Okay, the real main reason I began writing was when I saw my brother Michael's spirit in back in 2013. He is my the brother who passed away. Growing up, he was my 3 a.m. buddy when I
Oh,
needed one, because mostly I mean, my mom was not around and I didn't have anybody except for my sister. And but she is much older to me, so we don't. I mean, I couldn't relate to her like I could relate to Michael. So I would call him, and he never judged me no matter what I did. And he was someone I could just, he was always there when I needed him. And
yeah.
as an adult, he fell into some bad company and picked up a few vices. And one day he just disappeared.
Wow.
And later the family came to know that he had passed. So anyway, years later, he appeared to me in my dream. I like to think of them as visions because they usually come between my sleep and waking moments.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and then he told me that he told me, I mean, don't be afraid, and something in the way he told me, calm me down, and then I began to feel this thing that I mean, he wanted to convey something, and then he told me that um, yeah, I think it's time you started writing like you used to in your childhood. I think it's time you started writing, and the world needs you. And so that the next day I started writing, and that's it. And that's how my romance with writing and teaching began.
Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome.
Yeah.
So how many books have you written so far?
I've written two books. One is Don't Be Afraid to Love back in 2014. And the other one is Magic of the Ancients, which I had just released in November of last year, 2021. Yeah, these are the two books I have done.
Oh, that is so powerful. Do you what's the next book you're working on?
The next book I'm planning to write would be a sequel to what I've already written, um, to Magic of the Ancients, wherein I'll go a little more deeper into tarot and esoteric symbols, the sacred symbols, which I didn't dive much deep into in the first book in the series. So that's one thing that I wanted to do. And also, I'm writing a fictional book, which I've never done before. So I
Those are
think I want to
fun.
dive into.
Those are
Yeah.
fun.
Have you written fiction too, Tammy?
Um,
Do you
actually,
write fiction?
no.
Yeah,
Oh, all my stories have been
because from what
true.
I read.
Yeah. I had to think, I was like, all my stories have been true, but they kind of are, they border on fiction because, I don't know if you really, sometimes you have to put some stuff in the book in order to, make it
Yeah.
better. So yeah. That's something that I want to do as well. I was thinking about that last year and I was like, that might be fun to do because I think it would take the limits off of you.
Yes, yes, you do.
That's what I think. So going forward, what do you see for your in the next 5 years, your future?
Well, I want to be able to reach out to more people in the form of healing, energy healing, uh, through using your spiritual gifts, like your helping with your chakras and blocking your chakras, and
Mhm.
how you can work with your chakras, and how you can assist yourself in awakening your kundalini. And that is one thing. Another thing is I want to be able to at least write another. I think I have at least another 5 or 10 books in me.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yes. I truly believe once you get it started, then it's nothing to keep doing it. I mean, like the
Yeah.
first book was really, I mean, I had all this anxiety about it and all this stuff. And then after that, I was good. And in the second book, I had a few anxieties because it was my story. But not really, not really. I just, after that, to me, it's like gravy because you know what the process looks like and you just do it. Yeah. So what other modalities are you working with?
In the esoteric, I have just started exploring shamanism
Oh, nice.
intuitively. And yes, I know that interests you because I'm sure you are much more experienced than me. And then I came across quite a few shamans in my spiritual journey. And then I learned a few things and picked up from them. And I think knowing the Vedas and Hinduism, and being raised in the country I've been raised in, um, it comes a little more naturally to me, perhaps, than I would normally have. Uh, just because I'm a Christian, it would not have been easy. But since I was raised in the Hindu culture, um, yeah, and I mean, you realize that shamanism is not a religion per se. It
Right.
is more of life,
Mm-hmm.
much like Hinduism and the Vedic teachings, and uh, even yoga for that matter. Yeah,
Right, exactly. I think I think that it's the time right now when the world is waking up. I think that this all this stuff that we've been dealing with, for the last couple of years, it's like we're
yeah,
waking up, and so many people are,
yes, it's true.
and
some,
it's time.
some of us, it has been a rude awakening too.
It has.
Especially with 2020. Yeah.
It's almost like it tells you, it makes you know who you are.
Yeah, yes, it tells you it's time to embrace who you are rather than, run away from it.
Yes, 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 yes. That is so real. So, something I was going to ask you, just one second. I was going to ask you, what is, in your opinion, what is the importance of people waking up at this time?
Oh, well, Albert Einstein once said that everything in life is vibration.
Yep,
And
energy
I
for
think
sure.
that, yes, everything is energy and vibration. And if we remain in one state of being, how would we grow? We have to keep raising ourselves and moving forward. And um, the more you learn and the more you allow yourself to be open rather than closed, you learn new things. And as you learn new things, the awakening process is part of it. If you're closed off,
Yes,
shut yourself, then I mean, there's no growth. You become stagnant. Awakening is growth, basically. It's a process of growth.
yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, going forward, do you work with other people as well, or do you just write? Like, do you work with other people with the yoga? You said you were Kundalini yoga?
How do I work with other people?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. I did have a few Russian students that I was teaching tarot to before the pandemic hit us. And I was working actually in the hospitality industry. And then, as you know, 2020 hit us, and then um, things had to change, and the corporate world kind of closed for many of us. And I was doing both my corporate work as well as, you know, uh, writing and doing tarot. And that's how I met my Russian students, and I was teaching them. But then I couldn't reach out to them; they couldn't visit, or nor could I visit them. So that had to be standstill for a bit. Then we've taken up live classes again. So I hopefully everything will go much more smoothly, and maybe soon I'll visit them or they'll visit us.
That is, I'm telling you, it's been such a pivot that we've all had to do with this pandemonium. It's just
Yes, it
crazy.
is.
It's like, oh my God. And it's almost like you're scared to wonder what is next.
Yes, and every day it's like the viruses are competing with each other. Every day there's a different variant, and I
Yes,
don't think they will fear though,
I
because
agree.
there's always been something. There's always been some disease, and if we live in that fear, then I mean, we don't want our children growing up in a world where that's all they know, where they can't breathe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think it's it's so crazy how it just all of a sudden it's like, but then I know it's not all of a sudden. I know that it was, something that, you know, wasn't all of a sudden. So how do you feel like the world is going to recover from this? I mean, what are your feelings, your thoughts on that?
I think that with each generation, the children are becoming more gifted, intuitively smarter, with more abilities. So I think this generation and the coming generations will learn to live with whatever life throws at them, because the previous generations have lived through wars and terrorism. I think this generation will live through a pandemic and learn through it, and be that much more warriors, spiritual warriors, because this has definitely taught everybody to be more spiritual and more loving and understanding of the world. And I think it has actually united us as a peoples.
I agree.
So I don't think um, there's always going to be some disease. Maybe there'll be more variants, but I don't think it's going to change us as a humanity. And I think moving forward, we're going to be much more fearless, and the next generation will be more clairvoyant and gifted, and what we like to call indigo children, star seeds. That's what they'll be.
Yes, 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 absolutely. I was thinking about that as well. So, what do you want the people to know about your book?
Okay. My book is all about. I'm talking about ancestral magic here. So I was raised in India,
Mhm.
and I come from the beautiful state of Kerala, which is in South India, and we have very ancient history, and we were um, most of um, the Keralites were mostly Brahmins, and we were supposed to be from the gods. And Brahmins are basically scholars, and they're the ones who are the priests in India. They are the priest caste. So that was basically what Kerala was. And from there, you have different other religions coming up, of course. So I would say that was what it is. And then I started writing from that, and looking at my ancestors and what they learned and what we could teach our children. So I wrote about everything from shamanic teachings, crystal healing. I talked about the esoteric subjects like Kabbalah and how it relates to tarot, numerology, ancient symbols, and also I talked about lexigrams, how we can work with names and how we can read from them by decoding them and things like that. That's what I've written about. But couldn't write as much as I wanted to, though the number of pages I have written is around 460. I couldn't believe it. I mean, by the end of 2 years, I came up with 460 pages. And then I still feel that I haven't written enough because I feel there's so much more to write. And so I have made it part of a series. The second one is coming out by next year. I also talk about 188 universal laws in this particular book. Um, and I talk about ascension. That was a good thing you asked me about the awakening. So I talk about ascension there as well, and how we can work with dark energies and cleanse them, um, and how you can know whether you've been cursed whether you have anything toxic in your auric field, how you can unblock your chakras, whether you have a blocked chakra. All those questions can be answered if you read my book. And that's what I've written about.
That is so powerful. I am so excited about that. It's so needed in the world, so many, because everybody speaks differently and we speak to different people. We might be saying the same thing, because I love energy healing as well. Few different type
Yeah.
of modalities also. However, you speak to people that can understand and, identify with you. And I would speak to people the same way. So I think it's amazing that you were able to get that book out into the world so that people that are needing it can find it. That's powerful.
Thank you so much, Jenny. How sweet. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome. All right, so now I appreciate you for coming on. It's been such an amazing conversation. Let's begin to wrap up. So share with the people something from your heart that you would like to share, and then also share with them how they can connect with you, where they can find you on social media or wherever.
Okay. You can find me on Facebook at author Jenney Clark. Um, I also have a podcast called Awakened Souls, which I just started a year back, and where I would like to talk about similar subjects, spiritual and esoteric subjects, and a lot more about the mystical and Hinduism and Buddhism, because Buddhism and Hinduism have influenced my way of life. So that's what you'll hear on my podcast as well. And if can I share a passage from my book?
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, hold on.
Love to hear it.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry, just hold on.
Mm-hmm.
You're very patient with me, Tammy. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome.
You've really been so patient.
You know, that's what I do, hold space for people.
Yeah, you do.
By one of these, this is like one of these things that I just, Spirit gave me to do it, and I love it because I love being able to talk to people and bring them forth and sharing them on my platform. I just love it.
Okay, this is a passage from my book. Sometimes young children near about the ages of 2 and 5 talk about past life memories and they claim they may have lived before. Simultaneously, they display behaviors like phobias or likes that may seem peculiar in context to their present life and family. In Buddhism, there are some beliefs that hold true, like the universal laws. Whatever is collected is consumed, whatever rises will fall, whatever is united is separated, whatever is born sooner or later dies. Life is cyclic. We are not going to have everyone around forever, but we will meet them again. Buddhist leaders believe they are reborn and they will meet um, their soul family again in another life. That is my chapters. This is chapter 11 on reincarnation and karma. I would like to try on different lives, one dress for each day, and then I would know which becomes me.
That is so powerful. So powerful.
Thank you.
So powerful. All right. Well, this has been Straight Out of Savannah with my guest, Jenney Clark. She is an author of 2 amazing books. So you want to follow her on social media. Jenney Clark Writes, right?
Yes.
Okay, Jenney Clark Writes. So make sure that you're following her because she has some amazing goodness. She's amazing. All right. So thank you for joining us wherever you're listening to us. I really appreciate the time that you spend with us. So have a wonderful rest of the time whenever it is that you're catching this, and make sure that you like and that you share it as well. Thank you. Bye now.
Thank you for having me.
I know you've been blown away with the amazing value here today. Now go out and inspire the planet. And be sure to send us a message when you're ready to come talk about it on Straight Outta Savannah, Talking with Tammi.